I'd like to call to order the Westmont Village Board meeting of June 2nd, 2022 to order at 6 o'clock p.m. and ask Clerk Simsky for roll call, please.
Mayor Gunther?
Here.
The clerk's here. Trustee Barker?
Here.
Trustee Brady is absent tonight. Trustee Guzzo?
Here.
Trustee Little?
Here.
Trustee Nero?
Here.
Trustee Simonovich?
Here.
Attorney Zemanek?
Here.
Village Manager May?
Here.
Assistant Village Manager Parker?
Here.
Would everybody please rise and join me in a pledge of allegiance? I pledge allegiance
To the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
I'd like to welcome everyone to this beautiful Thursday night. And right at this point, I'll go to open forum. Is there anybody here for open forum? There is not, so I'll close open forum and move on to reports. My reports first, and I do want to compliment the Lions Club had an extremely successful spring fling past Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. They made a good amount of money for the community. It all stays here. And Clerk Simsky was very instrumental in working for the Rotary at the ticket sales. Trustee Little was assisting. I think it was a great event for the community. I want to thank the police and fire department for had a presence at the event. The fire department paramedics, they were there every minute it was open, and along with the police department, and they had bike patrol. So along with that, they also participated in Memorial Day Parade, which I want to thank the American Legion and Westmont Park District for coordinating this great event. Probably the largest crowd we've ever had stay for the entire ceremony. So again, it was a great weekend and a great Memorial Day honoring those who have served our country. So that's all I have. Clerk Simsky.
I just have a couple of announcements. No permits will be needed for garage sales again this year. The community-wide garage sale weekend is August 5th to the 7th. No permits will be needed for this event. Sign up and details are on the village website. And then last night, I wanted to announce that I had the wonderful privilege of swearing in my Alicia Richards, our deputy clerk, as president of the DuPage County Clerks. So I'm very proud of her. She did a wonderful job. She'll be a great president. She's a great gal.
Very good.
That's all I have.
Well, the DuPage County Clerk needs a lot of help, so it's great to hear Westmont's going to step up to the plate.
The block parties, we're taking applications for that again.
Application.
Right?
But no,
Manager May, we kind of postponed it for a couple of years, but we're back to allowing block.
Yes.
Yes. Okay. Moving on. I'll turn over here to Trustee Johanna Guzzo.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. Right before this meeting, we had our Fire Public Safety Committee meeting, and I'm going to touch on a few highlights. We had service awards this evening, congratulating 25 years of service to Chief Steve Riley, Deputy Chief Jim Fitzgerald, and Battalion Chief Eric Blaskovich. Congratulating 30 years of service to Firefighter First Class John Mole. I want to thank them all for serving the village of Westmont. Thank you. We also had a Chief Fire Officer designation for Battalion Chief Arnold Nolan. Congratulations to him. The fire department did their fire department strategic plan and the standards of cover, which was very interesting, and I want to thank them for the wonderful job that they did on that this evening. We talked about Andres medical billing contracts. We talked about NIMS certifications. We also discussed EMS. We got a demonstration on the Lucas device, so I want to thank our EMS coordinator, Lynn Drowley, for putting that together for us. It was very interesting, so I want to say thank you to her, and the paramedics that also assisted. And then we also talked about our EMS increase in call volume. And then we also did updates on staffing, our new communications vehicle, a new ambulance, and then our communications van 1888 is going to be going up for surplus soon. And I do want to thank them for all their hard work in putting this together this evening. Thank you, and then our next meeting will be in a few months. In addition to that, I also want to say, Kids Safety Camp, yes, it's that time of the year. Information for the Kids Safety Camp has been posted on the website. People can sign up for 1 or 2 sessions. There's more information at westmont.illinois.gov. The dates are June 27th and 28th, August 8th or 9th. The age groups are 8, 9, and 10 years old. It will be at the headquarters station at 6015 South Cass. And hurry, because it's booking up quickly. So please, if you want to get your kids into the Kids Safety Camp, please don't hesitate before it's all booked up. And that's all I have, Mayor. Thank you.
Thank you. Trustee Simonovich.
Thank you, Mayor. I just want to remind everyone that the next Police Public Safety Committee meeting will be on July 28th in this room at 4:30 p.m. And I just want to encourage everyone to get out and vote. Early voting has started for the primary election at the fairgrounds, or you can go to depageco.org/election to request a vote by mail ballot.
Thank you. I'll present Trustee Brady's report. He is involved in the military in a meeting. He's very active. The Community Development Committee, the next meeting will be August the 11th at 4:30 at Village Hall. And the June meeting of the Planning and Zoning Commission will include training for commissioner members. The Community Development Department is in a pre-application discussions for proposed improvements at 111 South Cass, which is Holy Trinity, for proposed redevelopment at 6142 South Cass, it's a vacant lot, Westview South Shopping Center, and a possible consolidation of lots in the 400 block of North Warwick for the park and stormwater management improvements. And then I'll move on to Trustee Nero.
Thank you, Mayor. Just a few things. Our next Public Works Committee meeting is June 16th, 4:30, right here at Village Hall. And then just a quick recap on our second Public Works Open House at the new facility. Over 200 attendees. I think that's more than last time, right? It was busy. And just a lot of events. I mean, a lot of the kids that were there, the families just loved it. I was fortunate enough to be put to work the front gate where people were coming in, and everybody just smiles on their face, excited about it. They remembered last year, and it was just cool. So thanks to Mike and the entire team. They all take it very, very serious. We had a touch-a-truck event, miniature golf that I forgot who made. I think it was Virgil that made the mini golf. A pothole game, live bee demos, gave away potted flowers, street signs. They even made these, if you didn't see, like these concrete stepping stones where the kids got to go and put their handprint in. And somebody had to make these frames, and they did it like last night, kind of last minute. And, I mean, that's a lot of work when you see how many of these frames were put together. And I mean, that's all above and beyond stuff. And the families just truly, truly appreciated it. What a fun day, Mike. So thanks for all that. They raffled off a rain barrel. Chamber even got involved. I know Larry was there raffling off some gift cards. So all in all, it was, I think, last year was great. This year was even better. So just a good event all the way around. Dark skies lighting. Public Works is working with staff to review lighting at various locations, including Addington Plaza, as well as opportunities on Pasquinelli Drive. Look for more dark skies information to be on the website soon. So I know that's real important to our EIC and many others, so it's great to see. Just a thank you to the mayor and our executive director of parks, Bob Pleck, for managing that parade. No one realizes how much work those are until you start watching the two of them jogging back and forth and coordinating everybody and the hundreds of people in the parade. So we couldn't have had that nice ceremony without you, Mayor, and Bob for stepping up to help. And I know he's trying to take over for you, but I got a sneaky feeling that you're still going to be helping him for a while.
I still want my hands on.
And then last but definitely not least, just a special thank you to our Public Works Director, Mike Ramsey, who's retiring later this month against all of our better judgment. But we're going to miss you, Mike. I know I am personally. I've learned a lot from you, working with you over the past years. And what a successful career you had. Over 4 decades, I just think that's awesome. Impact to the water industry, impact to Westmont, impact really to this whole county, probably the state, and with AWWA, the country. So that's pretty cool. You know, I mean, although it's Westmont Public Works Director, we're fortunate to have him because he just touched so many other communities and jurisdictions all over the country. So we're going to miss you, Mike, and we wish you the best. And I got a sneaky feeling he's still gonna be busy and hopefully golfing a little bit more. But thanks, Mike, we appreciate it.
Well,
And that's all I have, Mayor.
After we get done with the two more trustees, guess who I'm calling to the podium? Because this is his last meeting. I'm going to call Director Ramsey up to get our recognition and also to say a few words, but I'm going to still go to Trustee Little first.
Thank you, Mayor. We have a cruise night special. Tonight's it. This is it, folks, the first night. We started off our cruise night for 2022 at 4 o'clock or 5 o'clock, and it's hosted by Westmont Special Events Organization. This year, cruising nights will be 5 o'clock to 9 p.m. on Thursdays, starting tonight, continuing through September the 1st. We invite everybody to come out. And if you think we do it solo, you're wrong. We need volunteers. So all of our community events, Westmont Special Events hosts more than 40 days of events throughout the whole year. Volunteers are needed to assist with each of these events. If you have not signed up to be a Westmont Special Events volunteer yet, we need you. We ask every person who comes out and enjoys these events to take time to assist in making them happen. People can sign up online at westmontevents.com. For more information, please contact the Westmont Special Events Office at 630-829-9378 or WSEC@westmontevents.com. The S Luge Trials tryouts are coming again to Westmont. They're going to be held June 11th and 12th, downtown Westmont on South Cass Avenue. They start off at the top of the hill just north of 55th Street, and they luge down the hill. So everybody's invited to come out and watch tomorrow's Olympians. Details are on the website. And it's only, if you can believe it, 5 weeks away from the 2022 Taste of Westmont. There'll be great bands as always, including a top-rated Queen tribute band in North America coming down from Canada to perform on Saturday night. You can find more details at westmontevents.com. So everybody turn out tonight and every Thursday night in Westmont. That's all I have, Mayor. Thank you.
What's next Thursday night for the car show?
Squad car,
Squad car night.
next Thursday.
Okay, thank you. Trustee Barker.
Thank you, Mayor. The Environmental Improvement Committee will meet Monday night in this room at 5:30. That's June 6th. And then this Saturday, we have storm drain stenciling. Volunteers can still sign up for storm drain stenciling through the village website. And thank you for the Public Works Department for facilitating this event. Westmont First meets again on June 13th at 6 p.m. in Village Hall. And as you are aware, we have a community interest in a community mural program. The mural program presentation from our past meeting was very helpful, and now the process moves forward with additional staff input and review by the attorney, the village attorney. We will keep everyone abreast of the updates. The goal is to have a final proposal before the village board in the near future. Then we also have a community busking initiative that was requested by myself on behalf of Westmont First. This topic will be discussed at our June meeting, and we're hoping to create some schedule busking events this summer. Details will be coming back to the board soon. Thank you.
Thank you. At this point, before I move on, I'm going to ask Director Ramsey, who is finishing off almost 40 years of service to the village.
While Mike's coming up, I mean, if I could.
Go ahead.
I mean, I'm glad to see him here too. So for as long as we've been in pandemic protocol, the staff attends remotely, and Mike has been at every meeting remotely, living in there, especially when they don't have an agenda item. So I'm glad you were able to do it today. There's one more board meeting before he retires, but he's not available for that. That's part of that American Waterworks Association, outreach. And I just wanted to expand on Trustee Nero's comments that it's not just national attention either. It's international, and I don't mean Canada. I mean Europe and Scandinavia that we've that this attention to the water industry, that Mike's brought and brought to the village of Westmont as well. So I'm very happy you're here tonight.
In fact, I had an Amsterdam, England team over at Uptown, and they ran up a $900 bar tab I had to pay. So yeah, that was we did a tapping demo at our facility, and they're like, hey, let's go out to Westmont. So they were in Chicago for this 2016. Took the train out. I met up at the the depot, like, let's go do some tapping. So we did a couple runs. They're like, where's a pub around here? You know, I'm like, well, there's a pub right over here. So we walked over uptown. 5 hours later, you know, they were getting back on the train, going back to Chicago, and yeah. So yeah, it is fun. I've had a fun career doing stuff like that. So.
When did you start?
So I started, June 13th, 1982 was my first day as a seasonal employee. So next Monday, would that be next Monday, no, not next Monday, 2 Mondays from now, was the 40th year when I started.
So you will hit 40.
So yeah, so it was, my first day was walking in the street department, and I walked in, first person I saw was Mike Chorney, this huge guy, like this massive guy with this big beard. I was like, oh my God, I'm, you know, Grizzly Adams I just ran into, you know. But I walked in and he was the first person I shook his hand, and I said, yeah, I'm Mike Rams, I'm a seasonal employee. And he goes, oh, okay, well, Joe Kosick's your boss. So he took me over to Joe Kosick, and then Joe introduced me to Bob Johnson, and Bob Johnson took me out and went and did a couple dirt spots, and that was my first day. You know, I could tell you a little more, but I'd probably get in trouble. But yeah, so that was my first day. So, but yeah, it was, I knew right then and there I wanted to stay at the village from that point on, but I'll regress a little bit. So, you know, Westmont, I've never lived in Westmont. Never lived here. I've lived everywhere around Westmont, but I've been involved with Westmont since I was 4 years old. In fact, my first haircut was at Ray's Barbershop, if you guys remember, on 63rd Street. He still cuts my hair to this day. Almost 52 years he's been cutting my hair. So he still cuts my hair, but he was, my first haircut was at Ray's Barbershop. Go to Kenny's Shoes to get my shoes for school. I mean, I was always in Westmont. My sister worked at Zaire, my other sister worked at Turnstile. So I'm really dating myself now. If you guys remember where Turnstile was, that where Jewel was, now, or Jewel is now. And and started bowling at Suburbanite, 6 years old. Gray Schramm got me learning how to bowl. Bowled for 7 years there. So I was every Saturday I was in Westmont for summer, fall, spring, every year until I started high school, and then I started playing sports. But yeah, so I mean, I've always had something to do with Westmont. And then 15 years old, I went to DuPage County Forest Reserve and asked them for a job. And they said, okay, fill out the application. I filled it all out, fill out the W-9, everything, turned it all in, or W-4, I should say. Turned it all in. They said, come back on Monday, we'll get you started, starting at $5 an hour. I said, okay, terrific. I'm 15 years old, $5 an hour. My friends were making, you know, $2.25 at McDonald's, so this is fantastic. So I show up on Monday, shorts, t-shirt, ready to go, sun, you know, lathered up, ready to go, start cutting grass. Like, yeah, we don't have a job for you. I'm like, you guys promised me a job. How come I don't have a job? They're like, well, we overbooked. We hired too many kids. My friend hired some, I hired some, so we overhired people. So we don't have a job for you. I said, well, I already turned my paperwork in. My mom already dropped me off. I couldn't drive back then. So she already dropped me off. I'm like, I can't even call her to come back and get me. You're going to have to give me something. They're like, well, we started calling around. And back then, the policy in Westmont was only Westmont kids could work for Westmont. That's always the policy. You didn't hire anybody from outside of Westmont. So the county called, and they called Harlan Spiroff, if you guys remember Harlan, and said, is there any job openings in Westmont? And he said, by the way, there is. We have one more seasonal spot, you know. But he goes, the deal is the county had to pay my salary. So the county agreed. So Westmont got a free seasonal employee for the whole summer, which was me, for $5 an hour. What I found out, though, was Bob Johnson was making $5.75 as a full-timer. So I'm like, wait a minute. So I'm making $5 an hour. All the other seasonals are making $2 an hour. So they said, you cannot talk to anybody about how much you're making. So I said, I'm not going to say anything. I'll make my $5 an hour. I won't say a word. So I made like $3,000 that summer. It was fantastic. But anyway, so it was a fluke that I was even here. I should have been working at the county. I should have never even gotten a job here. So I did that for 5 summers, and then luckily for me, Steve Martin, if you guys remember Doc Martin, his son, in 1986 took a job with Stevens & Crane, job opening. Jim Thurm comes to me. At the time I was living out of my car. I was homeless. So Jim Thurm comes to me and goes, hey, would you like to stay on full time? I said, sure. We'll pay you this amount of money. I'm like, this is like $1 million to me. I'll stay on, no problem. Free insurance. I mean, back then we didn't have to pay for insurance. Can we go back to that, by the way, Steve? Yeah. Never mind. But we never had to pay for insurance. It was fantastic. So great benefits, you know, and I loved everybody working here. I loved everybody I was working with. I'm like, this is perfect. So that's how I got started, and, you know, started then in 1986 full time and moved my way up to where I'm at now. But yeah, so Westmont's always been a part of my life. Since I was 4 years old, I was always involved with Westmont, but I had tons of friends that lived in Westmont. I played basketball. Mayor Gunther remembers I used to come to Westmont Park District and play basketball against him back in the day. I mean, I played high school against Joe Morganfield and Tom Pavich and, you know, Steve Domofsky and all those guys. I played against all those guys in high school. And then I did park patrol with the park district, so I actually worked for the park district for 7 seasons. And played against Pierre Pierce in basketball, and actually beat him when he was in 8th grade, because he was an 8th grader and I was, you know, an adult. So that was the only time I could ever beat him.
28?
Yeah, I was like 28, and he was like 12, you know, or 13, and I could beat him then. But by the time we got to high school, yeah, I forget about that. So we used to play with Blackhawk Park, so that was fun. But you used to you actually get paid to play basketball. That was freaking awesome. But anyway, so but yeah, so I've always been, you know, my heart's always been with Westmont. You know, even though I've never lived here, and it's just a fluke that my sister used to live here, my other sister lived here, but I'd never actually ever lived in Westmont, which is weird, because I've always lived right around. You know, I lived in Darien, lived in Oak Brook, lived in Clarendon Hills for a little bit, lived in Lisle, lived in Downers Grove. Just weird, just never in Westmont. But yeah, I'm gonna miss this place a lot. You know, I've had a lot of friends, lost a lot of friends I used to work with here. A lot of people have mentored me for a lot of years, including Manager May. You know, I've learned a lot from a lot of people. You know, I mean, you guys made my family life what it is. If it wasn't for the Village of Westmont, I wouldn't be here. You know, I wouldn't have the lifestyle I have with my family, and I wouldn't have 2 great daughters and a great wife, and I owe it all to the village. If it wasn't for you guys, I wouldn't have any of it. So you guys gave me an opportunity to make a career out of back then it was a job. Now it's not a job anymore. Now it's actually a career. I remember right after I got hired, they were like begging people off the street to come work for the village because we had so many openings. Now, you know, you got to have you know, a bachelor's degree basically to do a lot of stuff that we do. You know, computers, and you got to be very knowledgeable at the stuff we do. And when I started here, it's like, can you shovel? Can you know, yeah, okay, well then you got a job. You know, that's not like that anymore. Public Works. I mean, look at Manager May. I mean, he's got a master's degree. You know, I mean, you know, people like that. You know, back in the day, Joe Kosick, I think he graduated 8th grade. I mean, you know, but he knew a lot of stuff about, you know, street department, but that was not a requirement. Now it's, you got to have degrees, you got to have, you know, education, you got to have certifications, and that was one of the things when I took over as superintendent, is I wanted to make sure as many people at the village could get their operator's license. And that's something I continue to do today. I've certified over 900 operators in the state of Illinois. So that's one thing I take pride in. I still enjoy doing that. I will still continue doing that. But yeah, it's something that I think it's very important that people educate themselves, never be satisfied where you're at. You know, just keep striving, get better and better and better. You know, that's all you can do. And we have a lot of arborist certified employees that we have now that we didn't have before. We have a lot of, you know, just great operators, period. I mean, it's phenomenal how our guys have stepped up. And luckily for you guys, we got a fantastic facility to work out of. I owe that all to you. Our water system is what it is because of the boards that have made the commitment to make that a financial commitment to make our water system what it is. You ask a lot of other towns. Ask Arlington Heights, they had 240 main breaks last year. Yeah. You know, we had 22. They had 240. So, I mean, it tells you right there. Wow. Now, they're bigger than us, but still. I mean, I can't imagine having a main break almost every day. You know, that's just crazy. And there's a lot of towns like that. You know, Maywood, not a great example, but Maywood, 65% water loss. 65%. 65%. They're number 1 in the state of Illinois for water loss. We're at 11. They're at 65. So that gives you where, you know, where things are at. But yeah, it's all because of you guys. I mean, we've replaced about 65% of our water system since 19.
The investment in the water distribution network that started in the 80s.
Yep, late 80s.
Lake Michigan Water.
Yep, Spiderweb started that, right? We knew we were getting Lake Michigan Water. He started replacing water main in 1989, all the way up to now. I've given presentations about it, and people are envious of how far we are, because people are catching up now with the infrastructure bill that, you know, President Biden passed, and they're going to start using that money to start improving your infrastructure. But at least the water part of it and our stormwater part of it, we're way ahead of the game. So that's all because you guys made that investment. If it wasn't for that, we'd be struggling like all these other towns. And I did a cost analysis, and it has actually paid for itself now. So that upfront cost of, you know, $15 million to improve our water system, you know, the wear and tear on our vehicles, our employees' overtime, the material, you know, the sleeves, the roads, disruption to people's water system, you know, to their house. I mean, all of that, all add that up, it's already paid for itself. So, and new water meters, all of that, it just made such a huge difference in how much money we bring in and how much that we don't lose anymore just from water loss. Because, you know, water's not cheap, so, and it's not going to get cheaper. So, but yeah, I mean, I just thank you all. I've been so blessed to work with such a great staff, great boards, great department heads, great departments. I mean, you guys, Westmont is very, very lucky to have the staff and the departments you have. I mean, the police department's top-notch, fire department, I mean, they're an ISO 1. I mean, nobody else is that, no other, part-time fire department's an ISO 1. I bring that up every time I talk about my classes, I bring that up, and nobody can believe that we're an ISO 1, that we're just part-time. That's phenomenal. And yeah, I mean, just very lucky. Our community development department is doing such a great job. I mean, look at all the buildings going on. I mean, it's crazy. Larry Forsberg, he's another guy. I mean, what a phenomenal job that guy does for us. I mean, I remember what, how much things have changed since he's taken over. It's 20-some years he's been here now, and it's been phenomenal ever since he's taken over. So, there's a lot of great things that are going on in Westmont, and a lot of things are going to get better and better and better. And I'm very looking forward to coming back and seeing all the changes and all the improvements that Westmont's going to do in the future. So I just wish I could be part of that, but there's time you got to go, and my time is now. So I do thank all of you for everything. I owe you everything in my life, so thank you so much.
Thank you. One last, Mike has started to initiate the Liberty Park plan as far as the engineering and talking to the county about bringing them water at some point. It's a long road, but he began the process now, and
did a lot of it.
Did a lot of it. So again, thank you, Mike. Is any board members see any items they'd like to be removed from the consent agenda? Seeing none, I'd ask Manager May to please read.
Okay, slow start. First item on the consent agenda are the village board minutes. Board to consider approving the minutes of the village board meeting held May 19th, 2022. We have finance ordinance number 3 in the amount of $984,438.19. Several purchase orders, first one being Corn and Main LP, $41,533. This is for water meters and MXUs being the meter reading interface for the materials. Second purchase order, DuPage Mayors and Managers Conference, $22,126.81, represents the annual dues for fiscal year 23, fiscal year ending 23. Engineering Solutions Team, $59,000. This is, you've already approved the contract. This is the purchase order for the engineering for West 57th Street storm water improvements, which is a storm sewer extension. Primera Engineers Limited, $58,780. It's the design and the design engineering for the Adams Street sidewalk project, South Adams. Next purchase order, I'm not entirely certain how to pronounce it. It's ACIA, so maybe ACIA Auto LLC, $39,644.24. It's for a PD non-squad replacement. The total of those purchase orders was $221,084.05. So the total of the purchase orders together with finance ordinance number 3 is $1,205,522.24. That completes the consent agenda.
I have a motion to approve as read.
Motion to approve, Little.
Second, Barker.
Motion made and second. Any comments or questions? Seeing none, roll call, please.
Trustee Little.
Yes.
Trustee Barker.
Yes.
Trustee Nero.
Yes.
Trustee Guzzo.
Yes.
Trustee Simonovich.
Yes.
Motion passes. Moving on to new business. A, engineering agreement, 2022 South Wilmette Sidewalk Improvement Project. Board to consider ordinance authorizing an engineering agreement with Premier Engineering for Phase 1 and Phase 2 design engineering for the 2022 South Wilmette Sidewalk Improvement Project. And Director Ramsey.
Thank you, Mayor. We were requesting the sum of $54,720 for Phase 1 and Phase 2 of design engineering for the 2022 South Wilmette Sidewalk Improvement Project. This project will include installation of a new concrete sidewalk on the west side of South Wilmette from 55th Street to West Quincy, approximately 2,200 feet. Staff recommends approval. There are some engineering and some elevation challenges with this project. That's why it's so important to go out and do this design work first, just to see what we're undertaking. Manager May is aware of the issues we're gonna have with maybe some of the driveways and some of the way the sidewalks have to cut through. There's a lot of elevation changes on South Wilmette. We might have to end up doing this project in phases, but we will get this project done at some point.
Do I have a
Who's
motion?
we?
Me is Village of Westmont.
To approve, Nero.
Second, Little.
Motion made second to approve. Any comments, questions? Roll call, please.
Trustee Nero.
Yes.
Trustee Guzzo.
Yes.
Trustee Barker.
Yes.
Trustee Simonovich.
Yes.
Trustee Little.
Yes.
Motion passes. New business B, purchase of real estate. Board to consider an ordinance approving a real estate contract for the village's purchase of .826 acres of land from the Westmont Community School District 201. Manager May.
The land parcel is a small parcel being cut out at the Westmont High School for purposes of where we would install the new water tower, the new north tower. If you need to visualize it, it's roughly, it is pretty much matches the old tennis courts up on the north frontage of the parcel, behind the north end of the football field is where it's going.
Yeah.
So that's the location. This will be carved out. We have a tentative agreement with CUSD 201 to do that. First step is approving the real estate agreement for this, or authorizing us to enter it into it when the school board has approved it.
And this is, the amount of money was appraised at.
Yeah, it's
Yes.
based on a formal appraisal.
Do I have a motion to approve?
Motion to approve, Guzzo?
Second, Little.
Motion made second. Any comments? Roll call, please.
Trustee Guzzo.
Yes.
Trustee Nero.
Yes.
Trustee Barker.
Yes.
Trustee Little.
Yes.
Trustee Simonovich.
Yes.
Motion passes. New business C, purchase of property. Board to consider an ordinance approving a real estate agreement for the purchase of 109 North Cass Avenue for the use by the village. Manager May.
This parcel is in the central business district, is immediately north of a village-owned property, which is what we would call the Irvin Street parking lot. We're purchasing it for, it's a willing seller, and they approached us, but its purpose will be, forthcoming or, to be determined. So it either be for further public improvements or part of an assemblage for other properties that may become available on that block. So it's 109 North Cass, and also for the appraised value.
Do I have a motion?
Motion to approve, Nero.
Second, Barker.
Motion made and second. Comments? Questions? Roll call, please.
Trustee Nero.
Yes.
Trustee Barker.
Yes.
Trustee Simonovich.
Yes.
Trustee Little.
Yes.
Trustee Guzzo.
Yes.
Motion passes. New business D, surplus property, Westmont Fire Department. Board to consider ordinance declaring the attached list of inventory as outdated and/or unusable equipment as surplus.
Chief is on.
Chief is on, or you want
Oh.
Deputy Chief to go for it?
Video arm wrestle for who gets to go.
It's all yours.
All right. Yep, we're requesting the following items to be deemed as surplus. The previous 1888 communications vehicle, Canon Rebel digital camera, an Olympus Camedia digital camera, Sony CyberShot digital camera, Sony Handycam DVR camcorder. We also had some PPE items, 26 EMS coats, 35 bunker pants, 46 bunker coats, and 29 helmets.
Do I have a motion to declare that surplus?
Motion to declare surplus, Guzzo?
Second, Little.
Motion made second. Any comments? Again, I think a lot of that's going to be donated to departments that could use it.
Correct.
Any other? Seeing none, roll call, please.
Trustee Guzzo.
Yes.
Trustee Nero.
Yes.
Trustee Barker.
Yes.
Trustee Simonovich.
Yes.
Trustee Little.
Yes.
Motion passes. Miscellaneous, anybody have anything? Seeing none, then I'll entertain a motion to adjourn.
Motion to adjourn, Little?
Second, Nero.
Motion been made, second to adjourn. Roll call, please.
Trustee Little.
Yes.
Trustee Barker.
Yes.
Trustee Simonovich.
Yes.
Trustee Nero.
Yes.
Trustee Guzzo.
Yes.
And I want to thank everybody. This meeting is adjourned.